And
Yeah,
not
like I
only
think I
that,
have narcissistic traits
I
according to
think
like
to
the
be
stuff.
honest, most people would. If you look like, if you know that you're good at something, or there might be something like a blinder about certain things about yourself. I think when that's part of the diagnosis is you have to meet all of these criteria in order for it to be classified as narcissist. So it may be other things that you would say, oh, well, narcissists do this, check, check, check. But if there's a list of, let's say, 10 things, but you have to meet at least 7 or 8 out of the 10 things in order to be diagnosed, you might meet 5 of those things, but that wouldn't technically make you a narcissist. But you may be able to fall into other categories that kind of overlap, where you may have to differentiate between being a narcissist and something else.
So let y'all tell me what this is, because I don't know what this. It may not be a narcissistic, but it was just, I don't know. Just pause for the cause.
Just because I'm fat, that doesn't invalidate the things that I say.
She died.
You ready to get supersized?
She died too.
Today I've got the big Fruit Loop.
He's dead.
Join me on my Fat Positive radio show.
Which didn't last long because she died.
I'm not trying to laugh at that, but damn. I don't know if that was narcissism or just
Facts.
lying to oneself. Now, which one are you saying narcissist? The girl or the ones that died?
The girl, like, it was just like she died. She died.
No,
Dead.
I don't think that's narcissist.
Oh,
Not
well,
at all.
open your little book and tell me what that is.
I think that would be closer to psychopathy, the inability to have any sort of empathy for anybody and not care about anybody's feelings to a degree where you're not even able to.
And what was it called again? Inaz?
Psychopath or psychopathy?
But I mean, the context of that video, she may have been. If I was to assume, she was trying to get people to get in shape, or probably stop them from being obese. So that would be assuming that she cared about other people's health, because she was trying to highlight something to stop them from
To me,
doing
I
it.
couldn't differentiate between whether she was trying to if Sham was saying was the girl narcissist or the people who ended up dying were, because I was looking at it from that perspective. If like they were saying, oh well, just because I'm big, blah blah blah, like I'm this or I'm still this, like were they in the delusional aspect of believing certain things, like just because you're overweight, I'm still healthy. You know what I'm saying? Something like that.
I think that this irritates me the most, because I think that you could be slim and still have a heart attack. Matter of fact, I know you can.
Mm-hmm.
Eating a burger makes you unhealthy. So it's like the emphasis is on your weight, but that you may be unhealthy. Skinny people die of heart attacks every day. Strokes every day. Matter of fact, when I think of all the kids that have passed on the football field, none of them were big. None of them. So it's like, I don't know. I think that, to me, when the emphasis is on eating right, like instead of saying, oh, determination of your size, but hey, you see a person put a Big Mac to their mouth and like, that's gonna kill you, because just because she's big and eat a Big Mac, you could be slim and eat a Big Mac and it's probably will do the same thing, right? So I think that's what the part that is just like, and in the way it was said, it's just a little off-putting to me. Maybe it was just me.
I think on a probability of averages, it's more realistic that the other health conditions like create the cocktail when you like morbidly obese.
Do we
Those
feel
things.
so? Do we feel the same way about unsafe? I mean, unsafe sex.
Explain what you mean.
Yeah,
because that kills too.
but
almost 100% of cervical cancers come from HPV, which is what? A sexually transmitted disease.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with HIV or any other H's. Right?
But how does that?
But we don't throw that. It's not like a, but we sit here and praise unprotected sex. Oh, I knocked them all down. I'm just saying, like, if we're talking about health, let's just be fair and call it across the board, because that means that you're really being genuine. Does that make sense? I think that we always talk about people getting pregnant, but what about this? I don't know. I'm just confused. Maybe I'm taking it because nobody wants to hear that. Everybody likes it because nobody wants you to put a damper in their fun. But it is what it is, right?
So are you? I'm trying to see the correlation so I can jump on the point.
Exactly.
We're trying to get you to bring it to me.
Is you beat a dead horse so to me, to be genuine is to say, okay, if you eat unhealthy, this is, it's like pointing a finger at somebody, but you're not that way yourself. You know what I'm saying? I think somebody said in the comments, like, she's had plastic surgery. That kills too. You understand? Am I making any sense here?
So I get what you're saying, Shan, that like nobody should be overcritical of anybody else because at the end of the day, everybody has faults too. I think that there's still a conversation that's valid there. Even if none of us are perfect, if you're not pushing for people to be better, what's the point in having conversations about these things? She may have had plastic surgery, but there are also people like her making that same video about people who have plastic surgery. She's just chosen the topic of people who are morbidly obese, right? And that's different than having some extra weight and talking about the way that medically we look at people who are overweight versus people who are healthy and looking at different measures. That's different than being morbidly obese. Regardless of any metric you use, morbidly obese is going to lead to death 100% of the time.
I don't think so.
But no, that's why it's called morbidly obese.
Yeah.
Okay, morbidly. Okay.
Because it creates other comorbidities that occur in conjunction with being overweight. Just like on the opposite end of the spectrum would be anorexia. Like that would be the opposite end of that spectrum. So both of them are disorders that can and will lead to death if it's not, taken care of, so to speak. I
think that, and I'm going to show you a video in a second. I think that it ruffles my because I'm talking about when I look at my great grandmother who was overweight all her life, died at 97. My great grandmother, I hate to talk about her because she's still alive. Overweight, 85. So is her best friend, 85. And so I think it's a lot more than just being overweight. And I want us to talk about what it really is. It's about the diet. Whether you're slim or not, you can go to the gym all day long because guess what? People who are slim, still cancer rate is still high. Heart attack still high. Stroke still high. All of these things are still high, right?
Yeah, but I think, Shan, you're making an argument for something that is when you're looking at the stats, not to say that it doesn't happen. What we're looking at is the likelihood of something happening with one group versus the other. So yes, you can be skinny, going to the gym, doing those things, eating right, and still end up with cancer or still have a heart attack. But the likelihood when you're comparing that group with another group who's not exercising at all, that's not eating healthy at all, that is just living an unhealthy lifestyle in general, the likelihood of one having the heart attack before the other is the unhealthy group. And that's not to say that even within that unhealthy group that you still may have outliers where they're living until they're 101, but that's not necessarily the norm or the likelihood for that group, that the outcome would be that they are more likely to live to 101.
So I agree with the exercise. I never said didn't exercise. So some people just naturally have higher metabolisms. So I agree with the exercise.